Hey guys, I have the Polo Red from Ralph Lauren, and this is the Parfum version. This also comes, I think, in an EDT and an EDP version as well. Now, this wasn't something that I ever planned on buying or something like that. I mean, I always kind of ignored this because I too, fell for, all the bad publicity for some reason Ralph Lauren gets or the Polo line gets. Sometimes it's almost like how Paco Rabanne gets. Now I know sweeter scents like Paco Rabanne aren't everyone's thing, but I don't understand the hate on them. Like Polo keeps. I used to see a lot of hate, and people used to just like discredit Polo. Anything Ralph Lauren brings, they used to just be like, forget it. It's just another Polo. It's crap. So I do fell for it. I mean, I never bothered about it. Then one day I kind of came across this thing in my local fragcom. A guy was selling this one. Um, so I think I paid like about $30 for it. Um, it was it was pretty much full actually. So I was like, why not at $30? Because if you see Middle Easterns today, most Middle Easterns are around that same price bracket. They're all almost at around $30. So I was like, why not? Let's give it a try. It's like it's a brand behind it, and yeah, I do understand it's not about the brand; it's about juice. I get it. I totally get that. But again, you got to understand, in spite of all Ralph Lauren's marketing and all that, and you get a product at that price of like a Middle Eastern thing. So it was like, it's not bad. Let's give it a try. And I did do my due diligence, but I haven't tested it, so it's pretty much a blind buy. I went into Fragrantica, saw the few things it said, fresh, aromatic, spice. It was cool. It sounded like any other red scent. Gave me a little bit of the Eros flame vibe from Versace. So I was like, why not? Let's give it a shot. I get it, sprayed on, and I was like surprised. It was pretty fresh, actually, to be honest. I kind of like this even over Versace, the Eros Flame, uh, because it's the absent note in this, and I noticed that I kind of like the absent note in these, citrusy freshies. It really works well for me. So it was probably that. I was actually pleasantly surprised by this guy. So I was like, why not? And this is a 125 mil, by the way, this one. So, I gave it a good wear. Uh, yeah, it's fantastic for the first, it projects for the first hour pretty well. Maybe hour and a half, depending on your environmental conditions and things like that. But after that, on clothes, I noticed on skin it is pretty abysmal, the performance. I'll be honest. On skin it's pretty trash. But on clothes, I did notice this one till about the fourth. I don't think it'll exceed the fifth, and that's with about 8 to 10 sprays. Okay, so scent profile is great. Opens up, nice, bright. You have that blood orangey, and you have the citruses with that. And straight off the gate, the absinthe starts showing. So the absinthe, kind of helps, elevate the whole profile of things. So it's great. You have a pink pepper, I think. So you get that little bit of that spiciness. So it's basically that fresh, spicy opening, like any nice, freshy should be. Um, so it's all great there, and then you transition into the mids and the lows. The transition is pretty fast, to be honest with this. It's not like you're not staying with the top notes for too long. You start getting into the lavender. Now the Oris, I just couldn't feel, or I didn't get like a distinctive Oris note with this. It was more about the lavender in this. The lavender does come up, it brings up that little bit of that soapiness, or not soapiness actually. It's more like a powderiness. So it again continues that the fresh vibe of the scent. So you're going from the citrusy opening into this powderiness, and it still remains a freshie. And then of course, you start getting those musky woody notes in the dry downs, and that's pretty much it. I think the little bit of sweetness that you do get with this, it's because of the Opopanax, and Opopanax does give you a little bit of that sweetness, like a little bit of balsamic sweetness. Again, the Opopanax is just a super small note. It is just a minor percentage, so this is not really a sweet scent, but the little bit of sweetness that you get, I think is from that. That's what I feel. Again, it's a great scent. I mean, if you it's something like this. Okay, let me put it like this. If you can pick this up, let's say, under $30, or 30, or let's say about $30, it's a freaking blind buy sort of a thing. There's nothing wrong with this. The only problem is with the performance of this one. So you can go ahead and do more sprays because it is $30 end of the day. It's not bad. I mean, again, it's coming from Ralph Lauren or something like that, and at $30, not bad at all. Like, you could go more sprays. Or what I would say is, this is what actually I'm planning to do. I'm actually thinking of taking this to the office and just leaving it in my office cabinet. So I can, like, do a couple of sprays, and then maybe, like, 2 hours later, if I need, just do another couple of sprays like that. So I'm thinking that's how I could make this work for me, rather than just sit and cry about the performance all the time. So since I'm getting it at a good price, or I got this at a good price, it's fine. So that's how I generally approach all these scents that people in my fracom usually sell off, because they do a couple of sprays and doesn't last, and they just sell it. If you get a good price, if the scent is good, for me the most important thing is scent profile. The scent profile is nice, I'll make it work. I'll take it, because if I scent profile is good, some guy is selling it, like, on the cheap. I mean, it's, why not? Like, what's wrong with it? It's this is not bad at all. I mean, I don't get the hate. I just don't get it. So anyway, that was my quick review. Yeah, I would say this is, like, again, this is unisex. There's no age group. There's no seasons for this one. Anytime, anywhere. Just feel free to use it. No one's going to be offended by this one. You can feel free to do a few extra sprays. Go for it. All right. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. That was just my quick review. And if you want to see a couple of sprays from the atomizer, just to get a feel of it, there you go. Actually, it's a pretty good atomizer, to be honest. It's better than some of the other designers. It's not pressurized, but almost behaves like a pressurized atomizer. The dispersion is pretty nice with this. So that was my quick review, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. I'll catch you in the next one. See you soon.